Afternoon to everybody out there watching Lamont at Large, North Las Vegas, Nevada. Briefly going to tell you a story about a man who was shot and killed because he didn't hold the door open for a lady. Let's get right into the story. August 20th, 2016. We're on Covey Lane, the 3200 block of it anyways. And it's about 1:15 p.m., between 1 and 1:30, sometime around that time. So there's some gunshots heard in the neighborhood, about 4 or 5. Now, this is the type of neighborhood that if you hear gunshots, you might call the police, but you probably won't. And nobody does. Nobody calls the police. So maybe about 30 minutes after those gunshots were heard, somebody in one of these houses, one of these backyards, discovers a man lying in a backyard, shot, and this guy is gravely injured. 37-year-old Candelario Duran. He's taken to the local hospital where he would later sadly succumb to his injuries. Nobody's seen anything. They heard something, but like I said, gunshots in this neighborhood, who cares? August 27th, 2016. We're on Las Vegas Boulevard. Well, this is the Las Vegas Boulevard that most tourists are not going to see and probably shouldn't see, wouldn't want to see anyways. And it's about 11:45 at night, McDonald's, a busy location. So 31-year-old Muhammad Robinson, he comes to McDonald's to get something to eat. It's Saturday, and you're going to have a lot of people getting into all kinds of mischief, the good kind and the bad kind in this area. Now, little does Muhammad know, but there's another guy sitting in a vehicle in this parking lot. His name is Alonzo Perez. He's 25 years old. He just robbed a woman at an ATM, and he is high out of his gourd on crystal methamphetamine. So Muhammad comes into the McDonald's, orders, and he leaves out that door right there. Now, when he leaves, a woman is coming in, and maybe he doesn't hold the door open for her. Maybe he didn't see her. Maybe he just wasn't thinking about it. And the woman took exception to that. And so did Alonzo Perez. So they start arguing. They start bickering right here. And Alonzo jumps out of his vehicle, pulls out a gun, and shoots Muhammad dead right here, right at this location. And by the time 911 was called, there was little, if anything, that could be done. A man tragically loses his life at this very location, all because he didn't hold the door open for a woman. A couple hours later, 4 miles away, we're on the corner of Lamont Street and Imperial. Yes, there is a Lamont Street here in Las Vegas, Nevada. And we have one tweaked out Alonzo Perez. This guy is paranoid and he thinks the world is out to get him. And he's trolling around this neighborhood. And I don't know what he's doing. I don't know if he's trying to hide or steal something, but he's looking for a place to go to. And 50-year-old Jeffrey Johnson, he's on his motorcycle. He just got back from a bar with his friend. He's following his friend in his friend's truck. He's on his bike. And they come to a home somewhere in this neighborhood, somewhere on this corner. And Jeffrey notices that there's somebody in his friend's backyard. It's Alonzo Perez. He's just murdered somebody, and Mr. Johnson has no idea. So he calls out to him, "Hey, what the hell are you doing?" And Alonzo runs. Unfortunately, Mr. Johnson made the mistake of chasing him. He chases him out onto the street right here, and Alonzo turns around and fires 2 shots. One of those bullets striking Mr. Johnson in the helmet, entering his head, killing him. Within only but a few hours, Alonzo Perez, tweaked out, weird, strange creep, has just murdered 2 men. When crime scene investigators investigating both shootings determined that the bullet casings from both murders matched the same gun, now they are looking for a double murderer. And it would be about 5 days or so before 25-year-old Alonzo Perez is caught, apprehended, and he's arrested and charged with those murders. Now, they would bring Mr. Perez over to the North Las Vegas Police Department right over here, and then they take him to the interrogation room. And according to protocol, when you are dealing with a suspect, in particular one who is looked upon as a double murder suspect, you handcuff him to the table because you don't want him to leave. But Mr. Perez, he has other things in mind. And that other thing is escaping, getting away. Yeah, he has other plans in mind, and those plans don't involve staying in this dump. So the investigator locks him to the table, handcuffs him, and leaves him in the interrogation room for about, I want to say, 30 minutes from what I remember. So Mr. Perez's mind is spinning. How can he get out of here? So he uses his body weight and basically breaks the handcuff. Quite amazing. It's too bad he couldn't use that mind, that power of positive thinking to do good in society. So he breaks the cuff and it makes a loud sound. And he pauses because it's really loud. It sounds like someone took the back end of a screwdriver and banged it against the table. So he's waiting to see if they hear it, and they come in there and they see him that he broke this handcuff. And nobody hears anything. Nobody's coming to the room. So he climbs up through the ceiling and makes his escape out of here. He comes out to this parking lot right here. He has a handcuff on his wrist. I imagine he's trying to hide it. And boy, it is Mr. Perez's lucky day, because he gets to this parking lot and there's a truck running and nobody's in it. It's one of those rental company, maybe it's a U-Haul, maybe it's a Ryder truck, who knows? Who cares? So he jumps into the truck and drives out of here. And by the time the investigator goes back into that room and they see a broken handcuff, oh, he's long gone. He's at least 4 or 5 miles away. Now, by the time they figure out that he has escaped, you have the entire city of North Las Vegas, along with Las Vegas and Henderson, the surrounding areas, looking for this escaped double murderer. And it would be about 4 days that he would remain free before he was eventually caught over not very far from where he murdered Mr. Johnson, about 1.5 miles west of there on the 1700 block of Palm Avenue. So he's apprehended by the FBI, actually. They had to get involved. And let me tell you, anybody that knows anything about law enforcement knows that the North Las Vegas Police Department definitely has what they would call egg on their face. They are not looked upon very favorably by other departments, and having to get the FBI involved on a case because you screwed up, yeah. So eventually, Mr. Perez is tried for these two murders. Well, technically, actually 3 murders. You see, because Mr. Duran, who I originally showed where he was shot and killed, well, the bullet casings from that shooting matched his gun, which they got when he was arrested. So they matched that gun to that shooting. Now he's being tried for triple murder. It's not very often that you find people who have actually killed anybody, much less 3 people. And, the district attorney for Las Vegas, they start doing this fake posturing where they're going to go for the death penalty for this guy. And they come to find out not only is he a triple murderer, but he's here illegally. He's an illegal alien. He was invited to the party, and he just came on through. And so they eventually worked out a deal. This case would go through the courts for quite some years. I want to say it was about 5 years that he was in jail before he took a deal and he pled guilty to the 3 murders. And of course, he's sentenced to life. He's never, ever, ever, ever getting out. Now, he does have a criminal record before this for like robbery and assault or what have you. It would have been nice. When he got arrested before these 3 murders, if they would have seen that he was here illegally and they would have deported him. But we can't be bothered by this deportation nonsense. I mean, who cares, right? Other than the families of the victims in this case. But what do I know? I'm just a racist homeless YouTuber. But anyways, a sad story all around.